Hi friends, welcome to my November 2025 newsletter and my first audio newsletter. It's been a while since you've heard from me, and there is good reason for that, but if you've forgotten who I am, here's a one-sentence intro to me. I'm Alison Ingleby, a fantasy and sci-fi author, gardener, occasional toy maker, nature lover, and mum to two very energetic young boys. That sounds very different to how I'd have described myself just a few years ago, and probably goes some reason to explaining my prolonged absence. But I am back, and hopefully I won't be disappearing again anytime soon. So, what about my writing, you might wonder? What have I been doing with that? Well, I have been doing some writing over the past few years while having and raising my children. Um, and I've been working on the first draft, and I recently completed the first draft of a new urban fantasy book. It's the first in a new series. Unlike my dystopian books, which are obviously set in the future, this is set in the real world, in the present day, in London, but with fantasy elements. I'll be sharing a lot more about this in future newsletters, but it features some of my favourite themes and tropes, including searching for belonging, found family, soulmates, though a slightly different slant on soulmates than the kind of typical love at first sight trope, and self-discovery, along, of course, with saving the world. There may also be a goat, because who doesn't love a little goat sidekick? So, as I said, I finished the first draft of the book. I'm hoping I might be able to publish it towards the end of next year, but I'm not setting any promises at the moment because it depends on a lot of factors. And I probably won't set a date until the book is with my editor, because then I'll have a bit of certainty around when I'll be able to get it finished and published. Honestly, part of the reason why I'm setting up this newsletter again is to have a bit of accountability. My life at the moment, as I'm sure many working parents will understand, is busy and frantic. I'm lucky enough to have a wonderful family and a job that I love that pays the bills, but it doesn't leave that much time for writing. And I really need a bit of accountability to make me get my butt in the chair and get some words down and do the editing and all the things I want to do to write more books, because I miss writing and publishing books. So I wanted to give you a bit of update. Here's a bit of an update about how things are going to work moving forward in terms of how I'm going to keep in touch with you. So I will email you once a month, likely around the beginning of the month, maybe the first Friday or Saturday. I'm open to reviewing this and possibly sending shorter emails more frequently. So if you have a preference, then please do let me know. Secondly, I'll also be doing audio versions, as you'll know if you're listening to this. So I personally consume a lot more content now via podcasts and audio than emails, because I just don't have time to really sit down and read through emails. So I wanted it to offer it as an option to those of you who are also busy and want something to listen to while doing the chores or going for a walk or whatever, however you listen to audiobooks and podcasts. I previously had separate newsletters for dystopian and fantasy readers. You're all now combined into one newsletter. So I'm only going to be sending you one email a month, and that's just to make things easier for me, so I can keep contacting you really and keep talking to you and communicating with you, because that's what I want. And for that reason, I'm still staying off social media for now. And that's so I can prioritize my time. I only really have a few hours a week to work on writing, editing, and all the admin that goes along with my author business. So I really want to prioritize that time so I can spend it writing. So that means that this newsletter, whether you read it on your email or listen to it as you are doing now on YouTube, is really the only way I will be contacting you, and the only way you can really talk to me and hear about book updates and other fun things that I like to chat about. I also have today some sad news and some happy news to share from this summer. So first I'm going to share the happy news. I was really lucky that this summer I got to spend a week with some of my writing besties in the beautiful Colorado mountains. These women have really kept my writing heart going over the past few years. And honestly, I think if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't still be writing and hopefully in the future publishing more books. So I am so grateful for their wisdom, their generosity, and their love. And it was such a privilege to meet them and spend time with them in person. It was the first time that I've met most of them because I'm in the UK, most of them live in the States or Canada or other countries. So it was amazing that we had that opportunity to get together and chat. Sadly, whilst I was away, our beautiful giant furball of a cat, Mr. Darcy, passed away. If you've been regular to my newsletter, you will have seen pictures of him, which I've shared in the past, and you will know that he is very beautiful. He was definitely the most handsome cat I have ever met. He was diagnosed with a severe heart condition a few years ago. So we feel very lucky actually to have had the past few years with him. The nurse at the vet centre called him a miracle cat because most cats who get this condition sadly die within just a few months. And he made it a few years with a good quality of life. But sadly, he did start to deteriorate. It started to catch up with him. But he did pass peacefully in the end. So yeah, our home is a little bit emptier without him. So that's my update for today. I don't want to keep rambling on at you, but I do have one final announcement, a special offer before I go. The ebook versions of Expendables and Infiltrators, so that's book 1 and book 2 of the Wall series, are currently free through to Wednesday, the 12th of November. So you can get the ebook versions for free on Amazon through to midnight, I think, or just before midnight on Wednesday. And this is a special offer, which is just for you to take advantage of, though of course you can share it with friends, but I'm not advertising it any wider. It was just a bit of a thank you for sticking with me, a welcome back to my newsletter. And if you haven't explored this series or read it yet, now's probably a really good opportunity. It's a complete 4-book series, and yeah, you can get the first 2 books for free until Wednesday. So I hope you enjoy them. I'll be back next month at the start of December with more news and updates. Until then, happy reading. Bye.